All right, boys and girls. So today I'm going to discuss marriage rate amongst young people in the Philippines and specifically focusing on foreigners and Filipinos, really. So, I think for the most part, contrary to popular data, statistical data rather, that is posted online, that the marriage rate in the Philippines amongst young people is dropping significantly. You could even say it's falling off a cliff. I think that, and I will post the statistical data right here. You can view it. First, let's talk about the statistical data. This country is very corrupt. It's a great country, and it's great for a lot of reasons. That's for a separate video. But it's very corrupt. And even in a country with less obvious corruption, such as Western countries, you really can't put all your eggs and focus on statistical data, especially something like a marriage rate. And there are other examples of statistical data that you can't really trust because there's just a lot of motive as to why that data might be skewed. It might be altered, okay, by these corrupt people. So, as you guys know, I have nothing against Catholics. However, this is a highly Catholic country. And, I think one of the reasons for this data possibly being altered and not accurate is because of a much higher level Catholic agenda than your average person or even your average elite person would have access to. If accurate marriage data was posted and the general public learned that less people are having marriages, well, there wouldn't be such a pressure to get married. If the individuals that write the statistics, that publish the statistics, keep the marriage rate the same or increase it, well, then there's pressure on young people that do the research into marriage statistics, which is very frequent, to feel like they need to get married without independently thinking about them themselves because, hey, it's the thing that everybody else is doing, right? Just like drinking or partying or whatever else, everybody, social media, just everything else everybody is doing. There's a common need inside of each of us to fit in and do things that everybody else is doing. So the reason I say that I believe that the marriage rate is significantly declining and perhaps even dropping off a cliff is because since I've been here, I have not seen or heard about one foreigner getting married to a Filipina. I have not seen or heard about another Filipina getting married to a Filipina except one. Now, I have seen people getting married like in the street, like when I'm out. But to be honest, it's only been a few. I've been here 2 years. I stay out in the streets of whatever jurisdiction I'm in very frequently. And I've only seen a few marriages in the streets, like like a little walking around type of event to show off that they got married. I think I've seen one or two of those, and I saw one with a car, or two, maybe two with a car. And I've personally been to an after party of a wedding. That's 5 in 2 years. Everybody else that I've met and interacted with, they were in long-term relationships. This is both Filipino and Filipina and foreigner and Filipina. And these were anything from a year all the way up to 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and they never got married. Now, I do know foreigners and Filipinas that have been married for quite some time, but I'm just generally talking about marriages that I've heard about, seen, witnessed, whatever, in 2024, let's say, because that was the first full year that I've really been here. Now, the reason that I think this is falling off a cliff, this marriage rate, is because number one, with the adventation of the internet and most young people having access to or having a smartphone in their hands, people are the population in every country, but especially a developing country like the Philippines, is becoming more an independent thinking style. Instead of being told what to do and how to do it, people prefer to go out on their smartphones and do their research and make their own independent decisions that fit their life and their needs and their ideals about what they think and feel. Another reason that I think marriage is falling off a cliff here is because there is no divorce. Okay. I think that younger people have seen a lot of trouble in relationships. I know plenty of Philip the number of happy marriages that I've seen truly happy in the Philippines after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of being together is very slim. And a large part of me feels like, it's very difficult to live with anyone for a significant length of time and just be head over heels in love with them still. I mean, when you get a new puppy, you're in love with the puppy. You want to hold the puppy, you love the puppy. It's so cute and little. As the puppy gets older, 5 years, 10 years, 13, 20 years go by, you love that dog, but you're not in love with that dog anymore. And the same thing happens to a lot of long term relationships I've seen all around the world, not just in the Philippines, but it also happens in the Philippines. I've seen, of course, a lot of, so that's, let's, I've seen a lot of happy marriages that are happy, but they kind of love each other, but fall out of love. So it's kind of more of a partnership than an actual in love marriage. I've seen a lot of marriages that are very dysfunctional and they're together for the sake of the kids or whatever, if you will. And the kids see that. Okay, remember the kids see that. I'll circle back to that in a second here. I've seen a lot of marriages that are separation type stuff. So I think with the young crowd witnesses the problems in these marriages, whether it's simply loving each other and not being in love with each other anymore, whether it's kind of an abusive marriage, which I've witnessed a lot here, whether it's staying together for the sake of the kids, but the partners are doing their own things behind closed doors, or whether it's a full fledged separation. Those examples far outweigh the singular example of happy in love and everything is rainbows and roses that that family of kids will witness. So, if the average family had four people, there's only four children that witnessed rainbows and roses to the 16 to 20 children that didn't. So, I think those 16 to 20 kids, you multiply that by however many millions of families, the number of people that are becoming independent thinkers and not witnessing the textbook perfect marriage that we're taught about in movies that really doesn't exist on a statistical level far outweighs the ones that did. And these people have decided to either not get married or stay single or find their partner, their one that they really love, but not get married just in case because of this no divorce law. I think too that younger people have woken up and realized that once you get married and you intermingle the government in your personal affairs, it has the potential to create a lot of pressure and stress on the relationship and just the individual mindset. So I think there's many factors at play here. Any foreigner that I've met here, and I've met hundreds of foreigners, I only know a very, very small minority that is actually married, which is cool. If you want to get married, that's cool. And I'm not saying I do or don't want to get married. I'm just proposing ideas as to why I see and feel that the marriage rate is significantly dropping. Let's see. I think that also from a female standpoint, there's a lot of incentive to get married. Okay. If we look at what does a woman contribute to a relationship, and we're just going to strictly talk about traditional contributions. So in a traditional relationship, a woman cooks and cleans and does the laundry and takes care of her partner and perhaps some other house duties that I'm forgetting about. Involved in cleaning would be things like laundry and stuff. So you have four duties: cooking, cleaning, taking care of their partner, and or maybe three duties. That is a woman's role, and maybe take care of herself. That would be number four. So a woman has about four core duties in her traditional relationship, which is excellent. And as men, we absolutely love them for those four core responsibilities, those core duties. And also, as men, we love the beauty and elegance and kind of the power that a woman can bring into a relationship. However, as men, we are required to work. We are required to provide. We're required to take care of ourselves. We're required to, of course, be faithful. Okay. We are required to lead the relationship. We are required to, in most cases, we're required to pay all the bills and manage the finances. And I say most cases because I'm just talking about strictly traditional. When it comes to traveling, traditionally, we're required to plan the itinerary. We're also required to be the entertainer, meaning set up dates and romantic things and stuff like this. If we're traveling, set up this stuff. So we're already at 8 things. We are required to protect our partners, our wives or our girlfriends in case of trouble or danger. And if I really sat and thought about it, I could probably think of between 2 and 4 more things, but I got to 9 just off the top of my head. So when you analyze what a woman contributes in a relationship versus what a man contributes and what both parties are required to contribute in a traditional marriage or relationship, a man's contributions over 2x more, 9 contributions to the female's 4 contributions, which is perfectly fine. We're discussing tradition. So the expectations that I made in my short video, my comedy video, that's also a serious video. It's made to be comedy, but it's serious because the expectations of the modern woman have gotten so high for the small amount that they contribute that it's unreasonable for a man to tolerate that. He might tolerate it for a while, but he's not going to tolerate all those expectations forever out of him. So, other expectations of men, I could get to 10: level headed, calm, and cool, and not lose their temper despite the circumstances. Whereas on the other hand, a woman can act up and behave however they want and get away with it. So anyway, getting back to the point, the advantages for a woman, and I think the societal pressure to get married far outweigh the advantages to a man. When a woman enters a marriage, there's no prenuptial agreement. Anything that was earned, any assets or accounts that were anything that was earned after the marriage is able to be divided down the middle by half. Whether that's fair or not is a debate, and I don't like having debates like that. But it does stand to say that if the man is the one, if the man is the one earning all the money and paying all the bills and managing all these assets, then if a marriage is terminated, why is why are the assets split down the middle? Okay. In a developing country such as the Philippines or Mexico, there's a lot of motivation to get married because maybe your partner will take you back to his country and you can get a job, a high paying job. Well, this makes sense. The logic is a little silly to me because most of these women that are trying to date foreigners, with the exception of a very few, they've never even had jobs. So, what are you doing trying to get into the United States and go through all this stuff? Also, almost every relationship I've known where they've taken a woman, where the man has taken a woman from a developing country back to his own country, within 3 to 5 years, the woman has left, met another man, potentially had a kid with another man, and she's essentially working her way up the social ladder, which is understandable, but it's also not cool, as her former man went through a lot to get her in that position in life, and I'm sure would have given her a lot more, you know, on a schedule type timetable release system of what he's providing for her and what doors he's opening. And that's a problem these days. Everybody wants instant, 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 scrolling instant. They want to get paid instantly. They want to make money instantly. They want instant billionaire boyfriend, and that's just not the reality of life. The advantages to a man to enter a relationship, marriage, to enter the benefits of a man to enter a marriage are essentially nothing. We have no guarantee that our partner will be faithful to us. And I have heard that argument before when I brought this up to people in the street. What's the motivation for people to get married? Well, your partner's going to be with you forever. No, you don't. You have no idea. That's anybody could walk out anytime if they want to. So as a man, we don't know. There's no benefit to a man. We don't know that our partner will always be with us. We're not getting anything financially out of this. We're not getting access to better resources or a better country. We're not we're literally getting nothing except from a piece of paper from the government that says, congratulations, sir, you're married to such and such now. And what happens if a year later she starts acting crazy and you can't put up with it anymore, or she cheats or leaves you for another man, or whatever the case is, and now you're stuck in this marriage in the Philippines with no divorce? It's a serious problem. So I think that young people are waking up to this. I think women are more and more not interested in getting married. It's kind of an unnecessary headache, necessary pressure, and I feel the same for the male side. I will say, kind of in closing here, that I know plenty of people that are great mothers and fathers, that are great partners, that have children. They build their lives together and they grow and explore and have a much higher percentage of these people have happier lives than the ones that I know that are married. So, kind of in closing, I'm not encouraging anyone to get married or not get married. I'm not encouraging anyone any one way or the other. I'm just simply stating what I feel in terms of why the reasons are behind the marriage rate dropping off so significantly, and why I believe the statistical data is inaccurate and perhaps a hidden agenda around it that has to do with various world religions. Because if people aren't getting married and the house of cards continues to crumble, the church is in trouble, and so is the government. It's a control method, it's an indoctrinated system that's in place to essentially manage and monitor people into a way of life that perhaps may not be so ideal.